all things Halloween. This is hauntformer, and welcome back to another top ranking video for yet another Halloween lineup. If you remember, a couple days back, I did a top 10 ranking of the Home Depot's animatronics and props, and today I'm doing something similar with Party City, though Party City didn't have as much of a giant unleashing as Home Depot did. So I'm going to scale it back a little bit, and we're just going to talk about the top 5 animatronics from Party City's lineup. Though I do have an honorable mention, and we'll get to that in just a second. Keep in mind, like the Home Depot video, these are all my opinions. Opinions are subject to change, and opinions are like butts. Everybody has one, but it doesn't mean that you want to see them all. But I hope you'll enjoy seeing mine. Not my butt, but my ranking of the top 5 Party City animatronics. Let's kick it off with that honorable mention that I mentioned. It's going to go to the 12-foot clown. Now, you know me with clowns. I've said a lot about clowns over the years, but I have to say, this is actually a pretty creepy looking dude. There have been several imitators of the Home Depot's 12-foot style, and a lot of them have really missed the mark. Jemmy, in particular, made 2 new 12-foot monsters this year, one for Lowe's and one for Walmart, those being the mummy and that pumpkin guy, and they're just not cutting it for me. However, this 12-foot clown certainly looks the part. It's really cool, really creepy. I love the face design and the sculpt. I mentioned that in my previous video when I talked about some of these items. The only thing that brings it down a notch for me is that price tag. From what I heard, it's a $500 animatronic, which is a pretty penny, and I think you could do better with the Home Depot's lineup. Not being biased, just saying I think those are overall better, and I'm a little biased against clowns, I suppose. But with that being said, I do think it's a really cool animatronic, and I'm very excited to see it in stores this Halloween season. Alright, honorable mention is out of the way. Now we can jump into the real top 5. At number 5, we have the Lava Demon. Now I know what you're thinking. hauntformer, you're not usually into demonic props, and I know. Besides just the demonic thing, I'm not a huge fan of giant monsters like, I'm a monster. Not really my go-to when it comes to what I choose to decorate with. However, that being said, I can't help but like the design of this guy. Out of all of the demon products we've gotten over the years, I'd say this one and the Harbinger of Hell might be some of my favorites. I just like the classical design. The reds really pop for me. Not a big fan of the lights inside of the head, hence why this is at the bottom of the list. But still, for what you get, I think this is a really cool design. I can see a lot of people picking this up for 2022, and I can't blame them. I probably won't, but I still think it's a great choice. At number 4, we have the Possessed Girl. Now this one, as I mentioned in my other video, is actually a prop that we've already seen in action. There was a prototype of this a few years back that was intended for Spirit Halloween, but they revised it and now it's coming out for Party City. I just love the animation on this. The fact of it rising up slowly and starting to twitch nervously is creepy. I think the new video we got from Party City doesn't do it as good of justice because the headbanging kind of looks like a rock concert headbanging. But I think in person it's probably going to be better. At least that's my hope. Will I get this one? I don't know. It's tough to say. There are a lot of good decorations this year, but this one is certainly a great pick. At number 3, we have the Popcorn Clown. Now, like I said earlier, I am hit and miss with clowns, and I love ones that have some kind of originality spin on them. Thankfully, the Popcorn Clown is exactly that. It's a popcorn booth, and a clown pops out from inside the popcorn. How many times did I just say pop? Probably a lot. But it goes to show that a simple original concept can go a long way. With a price tag of 200 bucks, I can't help but agree with most people that this is a good bang for your buck. I love popcorn, and seeing a clown pop out of it is cool. I also love the design of the clown too. It's kind of different, but it harkens back to those old circus clowns. So, in a lot of ways, I can't help but enjoy the popcorn clown. At number 2, I didn't think I'd actually say this. At number 2 is the Creep from Creepshow. Now, you're probably going, whoa, 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 I thought this was number 1 for you, Haunt. And in my heart it is. However, I'm going to let my Creepshow fandom bias be excluded for a second. And let me just say that while I think this animatronic looks fantastic, I think the animation is a little lacking for the price. At a price tag of $230, I'd expect something more than a moving mouth. Even if the hand pointed at the comic book, I think that's much more of a value. This thing just stands there and laughs, and it almost begs the question as to why this wasn't a static prop with really good detail like, say, Twisty was from a few years back at Spirit Halloween. Not to say I don't like the Creep, I love the Creep, and I'm definitely gonna be seeking this out. However, it's that animation lacking for the price that is keeping it away from being number 1. Had this been like 150, 160 bucks, probably would have been at number 1, but because of that price difference with the animation, gonna have to mix these final 2 up. And at number 1, we have the Torture Girl. I don't know what you want to call her, Torture Box Girl, Girl in a Box, or Heads in a Box. I've had a lot of people say that it looks like the one ghost from 13 Ghosts. I definitely can see it. And it also, as I mentioned before, looks like the trap from Saw 5, where the bucket fills with water. Not a water box, I don't think. It's a shock box on this girl's head. She's got a straitjacket on, and she's flailing around, moving back and forth with a really cool animation, I must add. For the price tag of 180 bucks, I think this is well worth the value. And we typically don't see a style like this asylum aesthetic, and I'm really vibing with it. I think this is a really great decoration and probably the best from Party City's lineup. I'm biased, I love Creepshow, I'm gonna have to go for that first. However, I think this is not one of the best props just of Party City's lineup, but perhaps of all of 2022. I'm a sucker for this asylum vibe and aesthetic, and this prop pulls it off really, really well. In fact, it reminds me of a much better, but still in style, a similar character to Crazy Kristen, which was a character from Distortions Unlimited. So to see that kind of style get brought to the amateur market is really cool to see. But there you have it, my top 5 Party City animatronics for Halloween 2022. Leave your top 5 down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.